Myself is Kartik, Radia. I am CEO of CLA Indus Value, which is a member firm of CLA Global. It's the 15th largest international network, accounting and consulting network. Incidentally, in India also we are 15th largest, about 600 people team, 200 in audit and tax, which is conventional, and about 350 plus into all the new age advisory service lines. My main background has been into risks, cyber and forensics. However, what we've seen in the last 5-6 years, AI and tech consulting has become our one of the largest service lines. Because Tayyabali is also there with me, he's our leader of the service line for that. And basically about, you can say about close to 150 people in all implementing all different kinds of AI and so on. Prior to beginning our journey at CLA Indus Value about 7.5 years ago, I was a senior partner at PwC and then the national leader at BDO. Most important thing here in the context today, I think there were 2 or 3 things that were discussed. One that resonated with me and which is part of our core principles when we talk about and deliver AI is that AI is expensive, it's not cheap. And that brings us to a principle that we need to really select and prioritize. And at the same time, there is no need to follow the herd in terms of just going big bang because the resources are available, because the AI is available, going out and implementing AI all over the places. So therefore, there are some key areas to prioritize, and of course, we'll discuss that during this course.
Kartik, and I lead the automation AI and data analytics practice in CLA Indus Value Consulting. So we have been advised as we are there. We are a consulting company, and we help clients implement solutions across, and we have been working across various sectors like pharma, BFSI, metal mining, airports. So we are there, and we have a team of good people. Around 100 people are there, which we have a team in India. So yeah.
1 or 2 examples on the manufacturing side, if I can just share very quickly, where there was a hyper impact in terms of 3 different elements very quickly on each one of them. One is AI for sales, and added to that AI for lost sales. Typically AI for sales, there is one element that we'd like to share for one of the pharma companies. Again, it's manufacturing domain, so we can discuss specialty manufacturing, where the medical representatives, to be able to talk about the product, which was a typical ICU product, how the medical representatives, 800 representatives involved in selling the product, with the doctors, surgeons, hospitals, how the product knowledge was disseminating to the last mile. I think there was a co-pilot and an agent that was helpful. Similarly, for lost sales for an ice cream manufacturing company, typically what we are seeing is the zero sugar products, for example, they have emerged in last 1 or 2 years, and how they have led to lost sales for the traditional ice cream manufacturers. And what kind of a data is needed for this lost sales? Because if these products were available on the shelf, then there was no entry point for the new age ones, which are basically giving very good value-added products. And last one is on wastages. I don't immediately have a great manufacturing example to share, but a very large impact area for let's say a banking kind of an industry. A branch is only a 500 crore branch, but is able to bring a loss or a wastage of more than 5,000 crores. We've seen 1 or 2 such examples in the recent past, where some document or data was right there available, the information was right there available, and had that element been observed, probably this loss of 5,000 crores could have very well been contained and got to attention much earlier, so something would have been done about that.
Would you make a case for developing kind of AI policies and some of the approaches that you mentioned, the plan, strategy? I think that will be an important one. To define those zones, what not to do, etc.
Very, very critical, especially in large distributed organizations. People must know where it's okay, where it's not.
Yeah.
What sort of information is okay to put in if you're using public like the Gemini, which is not your company, I mean that becomes very critical, and that policy will.
So Kartik, what is that one insight or perspective you heard today that made you think differently about the challenge your organization is facing?
So first of all, it was a fantastic C-suite exchange event hosted by ITC along with AWS. There were a lot of insights, but if there was one that I had to pick up, it was virtual twin of the organization.
Great. So what made today's conversation different from the usual industry conversations you had?
So first of all, it was a lot of insights that came in. The people who were involved and sharing their perspectives were actually the people who have implemented the things grounds up in their organization, and there was a lot of diverse perspective that came in, particularly with respect to the manufacturing lag and how to remove the manufacturing lag.
Thank you very much, sir.
So what is one insight or perspective you heard today that made you think differently about the challenge your organization is facing?
By ITC Infotech and AWS. It was really interesting and intriguing and very informative to be part of this discussion. And if I would talk about other key takeaways what was discussed today, it's about the data fabric and the integration part and how this can be used as to predict manufacturing setup, which is very important to predict any downtime and any losses. So that is one of the interesting discussion what we had today.
So what made today's conversation different from the usual industry conversations you had?
So to hear from the different industry leaders in one platform is something which is very interesting and very thought-provoking. And this is one of the best example where you get to know what are the real use cases from the industry leader from themselves.